a lot of good job openings for young individuals or senior individuals. I guess you don't have to have any age cutoff.
There is no age cutoff.
That's it. Very good. I have to say that, and I know that there's a changeover on the summer camps and tuition, etc. I have not had any complaints, contrary to my partner here, and I guess maybe it's just who calls and who complains, but I have not had one. I don't know if the others have.
Some of it could just be changed, you know.
Well, yeah, that's always. I'm saying I haven't had a complaint yet. That's called none as of right now. And so that's, I mean, that's encouraging. Obviously, as Mrs. Carlson, you want to check and see the grand total of people signing up, because that'll be the proof in the pudding. But it seems like you're saying that sign up is going well.
You were approximately 50%.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
It's only the first week in April. Okay, April 7th. Very good. Mr. LeBosson here.
I was just looking at the spreadsheet here for the, Parks and Rec Department revenues. Obviously, for prior years, 11, 12 through, through 15, those are obviously actual numbers that happen, and I'm seeing for year 16, year to date. The special revenue fund receipts year to date are, let's call it 18,000, but last year's was $145,000 by the end. So all of that, we're expecting all of those funds for this last quarter of, that's where, for the transport, it looks like the transportation is the biggest part of it.
It is, and that is associated with our camp
With the
program.
camps,
And
so,
that's a large chunk of
yeah, so when do those funds usually?
transfer.
Yeah.
Well, with the new system, we're developing the budget groups for each of the various items that you see.
Right, changed C
And then
fund for 152 and
They haven't been
153.
distributed
Yeah,
since March 7th, so you don't see those yet,
right.
and you will shortly.
So, okay, so that, this is.
So it is,
But those are the online, funds are
Correct.
already starting to roll through, okay?
absolutely, yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Just cute.
to a great degree.
Okay, great, thanks.
I suggested that it's in excess of $83,000 in 30 days.
Okay, and then the only other number that kind of sticks out is, I see donations. What do donations to Parks and Recreation consist of?
Donations come mostly for summer music and entertainment programs.
So, all
The
right, so,
9 concerts that take place across the
so
country.
people, what are they, passing the bucket, putting money in?
Oh, there's that, and
Revenue?
that's during the events, but I'm soliciting for assistance throughout the business community,
Okay, sponsorships from
philanthropic
different,
organizations, so finding dollars. And we've raised, I just saw it yesterday, $3,250 today, I believe.
so a local business will sponsor one of the musical acts
Yes.
that's coming up there.
Received $1,000 just
Yeah,
recently.
well, I know that,
One of the
for
banks.
instance, Centerville Bank sponsors the one in West Warwick. Do we?
Well, we
do we have-
just received $1,000.
Great,
from Centerville Bank.
I'm glad that they're sponsoring here as well, too.
I'm just following up on the letters that I wrote in February, and the response has been great. Really
Excellent.
responsive to that.
Excellent. I know that we got in our packet the whole summer all the different programs that you have. You don't happen to have an extra one of those, do you?
I do.
I like that one.
And if you're well
I'd like to
warned.
drop that off to our new radio station in town, so we maybe, there's a lot of people listening to that. And he's always looking for news, so fantastic. Yep, that's it. Great.
Mr. McGee? Good. Mrs. Carlson? Okay, Mr. Palmiano, I think we're through with questioning tonight, and good luck as this upcoming season, and we'll do the best we can come financial town meeting.
Thank you all for your support.
Okay. All right. Several more directed, bless you.
Thank you very much.
Pointed that way, Mr. McGee.
Yes, sir.
All I can. All I can. Oh, poor Mr. Duxbury got me money. Okay, any other council person would like to address a certain director? Otherwise, like I say, there's no exact order. Mr. Waters, do you have a preference now as to who we might call up for any particular reason? As to anyone that has to leave early, or?
I think they all want to leave early.
Oh,
I think leaving early is a lot of the questions.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. What were you?
Well, do we have any particular questions, anybody?
Right, that's what I'm asking. Any particular questions of the council, of any directors? Maybe I didn't say it correctly the first time. Any specific questions of any council people, of any directors?
We got a nice yellow packet over
Right,
here.
that's cool, yep, I understand,
Okay.
but maybe with the several other directors here.
I don't really have any questions of the directors, but I have a question for Mr. Waters and Mr. Tebow.
Okay,
The impact fees.
Yes.
You probably answered this in my, okay, it's in here somewhere. Oh, no, maybe not. The impact fees, can these be spent to offset budget requests from departments? I'm still not real clear if there's parameters.
Capital, I mean, basically, it's gonna be an asset with a useful life of 10 years or greater,
So if we have,
as the primary measuring tool.
so they can be used to offset capital expenses.
Yes, so,
Yes.
yeah, yes.
Okay, so can I ask Mr. McGee what you, I mean, just for example, because I know you're right up there with expenses for departments. Do you have plans for your, and these are balances as of 2/29. This is what, April something?
Mr. McGee may not have that document, so
Oh,
the manager's gonna.
well, just in general, do you have plans for this next fiscal year? Your impact fees?
For impact fee, absolutely.
Yeah,
If the entire budget, capital budget is not approved, we have some items that we do need to get taken care of. One is a flail mower for the brush cutting machine for the use on the west end. It's dangerous and it's in the budget, and if we can't get it approved now, then we will have to go out to bid and use the impact fees for it. Same thing with the water tank for the street sweeper and fine system for the winter wedding. If that's not approved in this year's budget as requested, then we will look to go out to bid and use the impact fees for that.
I'm saying that
Those are items that we can save ourselves money and more productivity by utilizing it.
so I guess the question is, we really didn't talk about impact fees in other, but I don't remember talking about another budget.
That's.
You'll note on that, there's a footnote on there, Ms. Carlson,
Yes,
that some of the DPW impact fees are restricted because of a Superior Court agreement with the developer of the Oaks. All the impact fees collected from
It's
that,
better than wrong.
yeah.
subdivision have to go towards paving of the immediate neighborhood, roads in the immediate neighborhood. So some of the DPW money that you see is restricted. Should be a footnote on the bottom of your impact fee report that you have.
So, yeah, got it. But would it make more sense, and I'm just throwing this out there, to use impact fees, deduct them off your budget
Once
request?
again, the determination has been made.
Or are you kind of keeping them for a rainy day thing?
Not a rainy day, but again, it's not designed to augment operating budgets. And that's why we look at utilizing them for items that don't come to normal parameters. Like last year, we ended up using some impact fee money to put in fence at the art park, close that in. We had some areas that Public Works already had some avenues that people could walk in from the bike path.
Okay,
And so we've actually closed.
Closed it off,
that.
right.
Unforeseen, I think
Yeah.
expenditures that might occur.
And there are some things that if they don't get funded, we need to,
Yeah.
we still need to, and that's where the impact fee. And then we still have roads to do and sidewalks, so I know
Right.
this year we have the infrastructure bond, so we're not going to the impact fee so much as utilizing it, but in years forward, we may have to have an avenue to be able to take care of some emergency issues, and that's where the impact fees will be utilized for.
So it is
well,
good.
and
I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry,
go ahead.
no, but I understand that we can't judge when new impact fees are coming in. That's always the crapshoot.
Well, luckily,
Gamble.
and Mr. Strable indicated, we've got
Well,
upwards of
no, you don't know
plus.
if there's new
By
subdivisions.
building permits, et cetera,
Right.
that's what I'm.
Yeah, but that's not a constant for our town. We're not doing a lot of
You
building,
can
right?
still estimate by the number of permits, et
Right.
cetera, that you have out there.
But going into the next years, you can hope we'll have a lot of building,
Well,
right?
no, I mean, you can only go out as far as.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not a,
And
it's
the
not a
impact fees,
definite.
the impact fees have been less from 2008 through 2011,
Right.
2012, because of the housing, there was nothing, not much going on.
Right.
So
Stagnation,
that did stop.
stagnation,
yeah.
So now we're trying to build some of these funds so we can get roads done and getting some work done. So to use it for budget purposes, I would respectfully say we should be cautious on what we do on that. But there are
Okay.
some items that we do need to have purchased, if it's not funded in the capital budget this year, we do have to get some of those items because it's a safety issue a lot, and also a money saving issue on some others.
Okay, all right, thank you. Good explanation.
Mr. McGee, did you want to add something?
I'm good.
Okay.
Just to kind of piggyback off that, the impact fees, et cetera, you know, do we, you know, we sure must know how many building permits are out there that we have not issued certificates of occupancy, maybe just to estimate what future, you know, over even the next year, what impact fees maybe you would be able to look forward to.
Mr. Sprague will be able to answer this.
Yeah, right.
Upwards of about 200 building lots approved through planning.
Right.
That's over the next probably 7-8 years.
Right, X number of years.
On
You
a
know.
year-to-year basis
Yeah.
is very difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
when somebody
that's
fills
what-
out a
that's
building
what I was
permit,
trying
it's
to
generally,
say,
it's
yeah.
generally in the
It's
works
hard to
somewhere and fairly,
project it.
in a fairly short term.
Yeah, I believe there's at least 200, if not more, houses or dwelling units that have final plan approval from planning. It's just a matter of the developer putting the shovel in the ground and starting
Right.
the process.
Right,
Mr.
Sure.
President, I do have a question for you.
Right ahead.
Yeah, I'm just concerned, well, Bob, you mentioned that you're keeping tabs on you have to spend these impact fees, and I understand your point about saving the impact fees for not really rainy day, but unforeseen things that come up, and I get that, and you shouldn't be using it for, you know, your budget. But my concern is you have 10 years to use it, you said you are keeping track, we don't want to lose any of it, I guess is my point.
8 years.
8
8
years.
years.
I
So,
promise you will never lose a dollar in impact.
well, you know, now, I'd like to think there's no problem spending the money, you know, but we are keeping, you know, I know you don't want to use it for your budget purposes, but we do have to spend that money before the 8 years, so we're well aware of that, and we have to make sure we spend it.
Is an annual update, I guess, Mr. Tebow, that the directors are all given on that, or each director's got to watch it on their own, on the impact fees?
No, we advise them, and that's something we
I
track.
figured you
As
did.
soon as the impact fee is recorded for a particular dwelling unit,
Right.
the date is added onto the spreadsheet. And as impact fees are spent, we retire the oldest ones
Right.
first.
So they got to run in list as expiration date.
Yes.
And
That's what I wanted to hear.
Bob's office allows us on a quarterly basis to talk to Laurie, she'll let us know what the balance is.
So Mr. McGee over here can sleep tonight.
Yes,
All right.
I can just bring my wife in to help you spend the money, because there'd be no problem, yes.
Any
Okay.
further comment? Thank you.
All
I would
set.
suggest maybe Mrs. Blanchett doesn't need to stay unless
Mrs.
anybody's
Blanchett,
got
any questions of our
Sorry,
very
Lynn, I didn't
capable
s-
director of the library services? Any-
Luckily, no, I do not, that's an easy department for us, so,
The budget that you have proposed, you can live with this year?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, all right. And you have a couple new, or not new, renewals, some board members coming up this next week?
I did 28.
Right. Okay. And how is, can I ask that the design of the annex park or the playground area that is being, or was proposed, is it in the works?
Unfortunately, we haven't heard about the grant yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we're still waiting.
Well, that's
to
the
hear-
answer.
Right.
You're waiting to hear from the grant.
Waiting to
Okay.
hear from the grant.
Any other questions then, Mrs. Blanchett? Before we say good night?
That's not something that if we didn't get the grant, impact fees would go to, would it?
I suppose it could. We think we can do it without that.
Yeah.
I
Let's
did
hope for
spend-
the grant.
I did use some impact fees, you might remember last fall when we recabled the library.
Yes.
Right, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she shares the impact fees with the town hall side also.
What's the town hall side?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Great job.
Good job.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, planning anybody, or, I know we got school coming.
Well, I guess we also maybe.
Sure. Paul?
Mr. Sprague? Good evening. Who was that first question? You,
Well,
Mr.
again, well, it was just going on the, you know, the building permits and impact fees, in your experience,
I can
what's a
tell you
realistic look as to what's gonna come in the next?
So I can tell you right now, there's one development in progress, 75 buildings, each paying $75.96. There's another one that will start construction soon, 30 units. Another will start construction soon, 24 units. Another one, 30 units, so we're up around 200.
We are around 200.
At which, we peaked at around 2,000, and that was about 200 units per year. We are now getting, the economy's come back, so we're now realizing it, and development, there's a lot more developments coming into town.
Generally, obviously the larger developments take longer, but in your experience, when a project of 30 or 24 units has been put together, what's that timetable for completion usually?
Right now, the ones that are, I mentioned the 75, they will be probably built out within a year. The 30 units I mentioned will be built out within a year.
So,
The other 24 units should be built out within a year and a half. I'm forgetting one. Yeah, I mean.
so maybe about
they
two-thirds
are
of those
already
units, about
beyond
two-thirds
the
of those
master-
units that we have are going
They're at the final plan
impact
stage,
fees
they're
are gonna
ready
be
to,
completed.
and then the contractors who have not started are waiting for the spring to start. I mean, this is their building season.
Right.
Spring, summer, fall.
But that's why,
Well,
obviously
point
from
well
now,
taken.
by the time they're finished, we're into our next fiscal year is when those, when a lot of.
If
those
you asked me that
impact
question 5 years ago, it would be very different
Yeah.
answer.
fees- I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of answers would have been different.
Well, but like Bob said, it's pretty much on the calendar.
Okay, good.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Council?
We are planning to try to fill your associate planning, I see it's been re-advertised, have you not had any luck getting anybody?
The assistant planner has been re-advertised, and the manager has really been very diligent about it. Hasn't been me, I'll tell you. But he has gone out and sought not just advertising, but he's gone to URI, he's gone to different sources, and we had one very, a person who was promising, and at the last, after 2 interviews, he begged off for reasons unbeknownst. And right now we have what appears to be 2 promising candidates, and the manager set up one appointments for them in the next week. But the manager's been doing it.
Very good.
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Thank you,
Sprague.
Mr. Sprague.
Thank you.
Mr. Warzika, I think we're okay, unless you gotta stay anyhow, man.
Just one thing I'd like to just
Oh,
add.
yes, come forward. We'll hear you out.
Take 2 minutes.
I'm timing.
I had made a proposal to add 30,000 into the budget for filming and that whole the
Clerk-based.
clerk-based unit. I sensed a lack of major support from the council in reference to it, so speaking to the manager, we come up with an alternative plan, almost like a pilot program. We're gonna strip it down, we're gonna do it in-house, a couple of fixed cameras. We will not be put out live streaming, it will be done after the fact. It'll be recorded simply when the council session starts and the recording starts. We're gonna re-mic with new mics, we're gonna put some mics in the back. I would need about 15,000. The cameras that we're gonna use will be fixed, but they'll also be usable, removable and usable at other locations. So we can start, if we've got something going on in the town, we can do a filming of it. Something we kicked off today with the backing from the town manager, we now have a Facebook page up on, yeah, I know. Well, our last manager
Century.
was not for us doing that. Fortunately, Mr. Waters is, so we put that online today. So there are things where we would actually be filming events that go on, and we would be able to add that right onto the Facebook page, make it, a little bit more of what's going on in the town. So even though the cameras that we need and the money we need, 15 versus the 30, they'd be primarily in here, we could use them and utilize them out in the field, and do some other stuff when Parks and Rec's doing a program, or like Sunday, we've got a vaccination clinic, a rabies clinic going on with the ACOs, and then we're also opening town hall to do licensing for residents. We haven't done that in about 7 or 8 years. Something else Mr. Hoover had stopped, and we now have it open again, under assistance of Mr. Waters. So we're gonna have them open, and once they come in and do the rabies, they can come across and get their dogs licensed. So just some things like that we would actually film. We'll be able to put some stuff up on the Facebook page on those. So if you're not really keen on the whole idea, we'll do a pilot program, we'll check out the numbers, and we'll have a better idea of what's going on next year if we want to expand it. If we don't,
Just got a question.
we
Yeah,
can
I got
kill
a
it.
question also.
I think that's a great idea. I don't think it needs to be live streaming.
And we'd say, like I said, we'd save about half the cost, we'll keep it in-house, and we'll get a chance to see it. We're gonna do, still do the 2 cameras, because if
No,
we
but
can
you
fix
still
them,
need
we
somebody
can keep them
here.
fixed, that means we don't need anybody in here filming.
Good.
They would just film automatic, the clerk, when Mrs. George goes to activate the recorders, it would keep the cameras on, and we would film it. We edit it a little bit, and then put it out in the next couple of days, we post it right on our website. I know we have somebody filming all the time now, I just don't think it's right that we get there or ask them to use their videos that they're recording on top of, we don't have full control of it, so I'd rather not use that.
And then we can do zoning and planning,
Well, again, this is just gonna be pilot, just council for right
just
now.
council for right now,
We'll
okay.
see if we get it, if there's actually a demand, how many people are viewing them. If it's worthwhile expanding it, then we can look at expanding them out. But
We're gonna have a
initially,
clicker at the bottom.
well, every time we get somebody that goes on one of our pages on the website, we know where they're coming, we know the unique hits counts on it, everything that's going on the website. So we've got that, we'll be able to tell what's happening. And I'll bring that back to the council, and then you can make the determination if you want to expand it later on.
The only thing that I like the idea anyway, but the other thing I thought was really helpful was, like, for instance, today I was on the website, and I needed to find out some information on an ordinance. I still can't put that keyword in the search, the key search. So is there a possibility at some point that was something else we could do? We've talked about that.
Is that in general code you're talking about?
The problem,
Well, okay, say for instance, I want to look up the solar ordinance, and I didn't know how to do it, because I'm not a town person. And I just wanted to go to the search bar and say, solar ordinance. Well, nothing will happen.
That's,
Well, it will maybe for the
our,
code.
our code, yeah. I was gonna
Yeah,
say-
but, all right, well, let's look, town council minutes.
Okay.
And then you want to see the council minutes where the ordinance was discussed. You can't do that.
no,
No.
the thing is, the council minutes are PDFs.
Right.
If we put them in as a Word document, you'd be able to do it. I don't like doing them that way, they're not as secure. The PDF file is something that can be viewed by everybody. Yeah, we'd have to change the whole format of the way we do it,
You
which
can
is not.
do searchable PDFs though.
You could do searchable PDFs,
If they're uploaded as Word documents.
correct. It does take a little bit more time, and it does take up more space as well on those, because of the way they work. But I mean, that's something we're looking at, and we may start doing is every time we have an ordinance, is we're gonna start adding those into the town documents. We might start adding those into there to give a little bit more control on, a little more availability of the information that people are looking for. We try and do what we get the questions for. When we get if we get people looking for it, we're trying to add it in now. So, something we'll look at.
Mr. McGee,
Yeah, well,
question?
you answered my question, I was concerned about the labor involved in it, and that you answered it by saying it has to be remote control. I'm still not sold on the idea of even a pilot program, to be perfectly honest with you. I still think that we could send the 15,000 in much better places, so I would still have to do a little more research on before I got my approval on it anyway. I don't know what the rest of the council thinks.
I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised, and I did some research with some of the other communities that are doing it, and their hit counts on on the videos were much higher than I was anticipating.
Is that right?
I was finding anywhere averaging up to, including 1,500 hits a month on it, and on some of the live, bigger council meetings that they're having, and bigger, more important planning commission meetings, they're doing 1,500 live streaming hits
That would be
simultaneously.
the kind of information I need to before.
They're getting a lot of, on some of them. Others are very low, so it all depends on the community that it's coming out of. That's why I'm offering this, the compromise of the pilot program. We'll be able to tell what we're getting and see if it's worth going and spending more money and more time into it.
Mr. Elton?
Well, like I said, you know, again, I like the idea that at least we're looking at an alternative. I just think in a year where we've got so much going on,
I
you
understand.
know, to throw something that, and I don't really think is a, you know, a necessary item, because, is it nice to have? Yeah, sure, it's nice to have, you know, but to be out there and I appreciate it. I'm a social media guy, and again, if that's the objective, is to market the town, you know, as opposed to, you know, just, the people being, you know, staying involved with what's there. It can, you know, I mean, again, is it the video? Yeah, video's easy, you know, but again, I don't know if it's a cost center we need to put out there in a year where we've already been told that we're pushing 4% on an increase anyway. Anyway, I don't think people are gonna be happy with that, even though with the mandatory items, but, you know, I appreciate the thought process and going forward anyway. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warzika. I'll wait to hear from the town manager on the sales job on the pilot. But at least it's less money. Yes, Mr. McGee?
Mr. President, just a reminder while we have the reporter still here, Saturday, town is going to be hosting an eco depot for hazardous waste collection. A shredding event will be here for your personal paperwork, and the police will be here collecting unwanted drugs, legal, illegal. And the transfer station will be open for yard waste disposal or use of the transfer station.
And Mr. McGee, is it a number that, to make a reservation?
At Raleigh Resource Recovery, yes.
Do you know that number handy? Because I know I mentioned it at one of the council meetings.
I have a lot of numbers in my head, that's not one of them.
That's this
That's
Saturday.
Saturday,
You
yeah.
can call our office and to get that number from Amanda, our
Okay.
recycling coordinator.
That would be to make a reservation for the, hazardous?
So just for the hazardous, right?
What are the hours?
I'm sorry?